It's real talk. Man, it's real talk with your main Chip Washington. When it comes to information, the man got an arsenal. Bring you up to speed with what you need. He's the local and nationwide news feed. Let's talk about it. Dialect to do something about it. Chip got the floor wide open if you got questions about it. Man, it's the show that brings you to your raw. To solve all problems, it starts with real talk. Real talk. It's 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 real talk. Yeah. Welcome to Real Talk with your host, Chip Washington. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
And here we go on this Monday. I hope you're doing okay. I hope everybody's doing okay out there. I still hear, do I hear music in the background? I'm hearing music. Anyway, I'm talking to my producers. But anyway, hey, we're here. The gang is all here. And I hope that you are wherever you are. I hope that you guys are doing well wherever you are. I hear music. I hear music in my headphones, guys. So we can turn it down. But anyway, thanks for being with us on this Monday. What is today's date? Today is the 12th day of July. Year flying by, isn't it? We're already in the 7th month of the year, doing our thing, making it happen. I hope that you have had a good week since the last, actually, we hadn't been together in a couple of weeks. So took last week off because of the 4th of July holiday. I hope that you had a good 4th of July holiday and that you enjoyed yourself and that you took care of yourself and that you were careful and did the right thing. As far as everything else is concerned, beautiful weather, beautiful day today. Started out a little rainy this morning, but turned out to be a very nice afternoon into the evening hours. Now, there are many ways, and you're probably asking yourself, how can I get this fine piece of radio broadcasting? Well, I'm glad you asked. There's a couple of 3 ways you can do it. You can actually, you're listening to us live right now on 91.7 WYXR on your FM label, or FM side, rather. You can also catch us on the Tunein app. Go to Tunein, put in WYXR in the search, and hit the button, and you can hear us crystal clearly. Or you can go to the website, wyxr.org, and you can catch us live as well. Now, if you don't happen to catch the show live this evening, we are a podcast, so you will be able to hear us when they post the show sometime tomorrow afternoon. So anytime after tomorrow afternoon, you can hear us wherever it is you get your podcast. All right, got the business out of the way. We have a good show for you tonight. I think it's a good show because, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't a good show. We have some good guests. We're going to talk about some interesting things this evening. Sarah Houston is going to be up shortly. She is the executive director of Protect Our Aquifer. This is a big water issue going on here in Memphis and Shelby County. I think maybe many of you have heard about. We'll talk about that with her. Also, Kamecha Wilson will be here a little bit later on. She is the founder of the Nail Institute. You ladies and your nails, and you got to have your nails right, and you have toenails right, and the whole 9 yards. Well, Kamecha did something about that in 2017, and she is teaching folks how to make other folks look good. And in the second half hour of the show, we will have columnist, commentator, author, and anything else you can name. Otis Sanford will join me in the second half hour of the show. We're going to talk about a lot of the serious issues that are going on here in Memphis and Shelby County and get his unique take on things. But as we always do at the beginning, we celebrate you if you have celebrated a birthday or an anniversary or a special occasion. This is for you. First of all, happy birthday, happy anniversary, or happy whatever special occasion it is. And as far as birthdays are concerned, Rob Fisher is the announcer for the Grizzlies, the sideline reporter. His birthday is today. My friend Deborah Hammonds is celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday, Deborah. I know she's in New Orleans, but happy birthday anyway. Justice James, happy birthday to you. Kyle Williams, celebrating today. Mary Henderson, it is your birthday. Sheila Chandler, happy birthday to you. Ursula Joy Woods is celebrating a birthday on this day. Yeah, little Beatles action going on right there. Charles Stout, it is your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Mario Wooden, today is your birthday. And I want to say special, well, first of all, happy belated birthday to DJ Lola, who's sitting here in the studio. Her birthday was last Wednesday. We weren't with us, with you last week. So happy belated birthday, DJ Lola. Appreciate you. And a good friend of mine, a guy who has really helped me in this radio thing, his name is Jet Lucas. And a lot of you all know Jet. Jet's been around in this town for quite a while in the broadcasting game. Tomorrow is his birthday, and wanted to shout out Jet and wish him a very happy birthday and many, many more. Again, congratulations to each and every one of you out there who just had a birthday or celebrating today or having one coming up this week from RTM. That's Real Talk Memphis, to those of you who are just kind of new to the game here. All right, as we normally do this time of the show, some news and notes, if you will. First of all, July Nation, rise up. This is your month. July, if you are, like I said, if you're celebrating anything in July, this is your month, and July Nation, rise up. Ladies and gentlemen, I have said this every week, and I will continue to say this until somebody is listening. We need to get vaccinated, those of us who are unvaccinated. This Delta virus is spreading very quickly. 49% increase in cases in this country in the last 7 days. You heard me correctly. 49% of an increase in cases in this country. Mississippi, Tennessee, Missouri, Utah, just to name a few, are really experiencing major spikes in cases. The Center for Disease Control issued guidance last week for in-person learning. You know, all of the elementary, middle, and high schools are going back in the fall, and they are trying to figure out how we need to do this, in particular for children who are too young to be vaccinated. 3 feet apart for desk. Unvaccinated students should be wearing masks older than 2 years of age. And there could be a possible booster shot authorized for those who are immunocompromised when you can't really fight off diseases and things like that. That is what that's all about. This is a serious thing, man. 19,455 new cases over the last 7 days in this country. And as I said, that's about a 49% increase. And a third of those came from 5 states in particular: Florida, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, and Nevada. And 90% of those cases are people who are unvaccinated. This is serious business. Now, cases are rising, of course, and it is starting to become a thing, not only here in Tennessee, but nationally across the country and even across the world. Now, the Olympics is, in another couple of weeks, I think. And the folks in Japan have decided there are going to be no spectators at any Olympic event at all. Not even the ones that are outside of Japan proper, the ones in the different provinces. Because of the spike in COVID cases so high, they have decided not to have any fans in attendance at all. No spectators at all. This is going to be a really, really weird Olympics to watch. In the meantime, we're going to shift gears and talk about the heat. It's hot here, but it's record heat out west in California, Nevada, Utah, Death Valley. I mean, they're averaging temperatures about 107, 109, 110 degrees, on a daily basis out there. This is, and this, of course, is spawning wildfires that are breaking out all over the place as well. So, yeah, there's a lot going on in terms of that, and it doesn't look like the temperature is going to drop down anytime in the near future. So I guess you just grin and bear it in terms of all of that. But that's some serious heat. And if you've ever been to say Arizona in the summertime, and I have, I was actually there once when the temperature was 113 degrees. And that was just a normal, just a daytime temperature. And I know people will say, well, the air is dry in Arizona. I I was drenched in sweat 5 minutes after I left my hotel room. I was there for a conference before I got to the conference hall. So don't tell me about dry heat. I was soaked. Anyway, that's hot, and I don't care what anybody says. You ever been to Vegas in the middle of the summer? Yeah, they can average about 113, 114 degrees as well. So, anybody, be mindful of the heat. We have a problem, ladies and gentlemen, and I know the first thing people are going to say is, well, that's a problem that's all over the country. But I don't live all over the country. I live in Memphis, Tennessee, and Shelby County. Violence, gun violence, is at an all-time high. We have seen case after case. 10 people shot, 4 people dead this past weekend. In our city. A couple of weeks ago, on the 4th of July, there was a drive-by shooting that killed a 7-year-old boy. They have made 3 arrests in that case as of now. Another tragic situation that happened. There was a shooting early this morning, about 2:30. I think it was in North Memphis, where an 18-year-old turned out was shot and killed by a known individual. And we're told by the girlfriend of the victim, who happens to be pregnant, that this was over a dispute over $10. And if that is indeed the case, we're stooping, about as low as we can possibly get. And I don't know if you saw her on the news, but she's pregnant. She's 17 years old. He just turned 18, the father of her child, and now there's no father of the child. Nobody understands exactly what happened here or why it happened here. This is a bad, bad, bad situation. Now, I don't know how many of you heard about the rapper, and a lot of rappers have been getting killed this year as well, for whatever reason. But there was a rapper that was released from prison or jail, not prison, jail, Cook County Jail, on Saturday night. He was released. He was walking down the stairs. He had an ankle monitor on. 2 guys jumped out of a car and shot him 64 times. 64 times he was shot. Right there on the steps of the Cook County Jail. These type of stories make headlines, but I mean the tragedy behind it, and it's a national news story. The tragedy behind it is just absolutely unspeakable. We had our new police chief, C.J. Davis. Chief Davis was in Washington, D.C. to meet with the president to talk about, she and several other elected officials from other states were there to talk about the escalating violence and what the government can do, if anything, to try to help in that particular situation. Did you hear about the woman who was a former City of Memphis employee at the finance department for over 30 years? She was let go in 2015. She was placed on, remember this blacklist that the police department had at City Hall? It basically, if you were on that list, you could not come into the City Hall for fear of being disruptive or what have you. Well, she filed a lawsuit against the city, and the city lost to the tune of $750,000. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit ruled on the case last week, affirming the lower court's decision. A jury awarded her $1.1 million in 2018, including $750,000 in damages. So there you go. And Opera Memphis, switching gears dramatically, is moving from their East Memphis location. They're going to be moving to the Edge District, pretty close to Sun Studios, Sun Records out there. So that should be interesting. And as I said earlier, there are actually 2 new restaurants that are going to open in this building. We are at Crosstown Concourse right now, and there are 2 new restaurants that are going to open here. One is Wolf River Brisket, and the other is Abner's Famous Chicken. And I think Abner's does chicken tenders, I believe. I've never been there. You ever been to Abner's? Is it good? Is it good? Lola says it's good. I'll be the judge of that. We'll find out. She said late night. See, it's a late night joint. So anyway, they're coming here to the building in the fall. So both of those restaurants will be here, and congratulations to the building for that. And Larry Brown was introduced as the next assistant coach for Penny Hardaway at the University of Memphis. Larry is a very young and spry, 80 years old. So I'm sure he can lend a little bit of expertise on the basketball side to Penny and the Tigers. Go, Tigers, go. And we are going to, with that, we're done with the news, and we're going to take our first break. And when we come back, I'm looking at her right now, Sarah Houston, the executive director of Protect Our Aquifer. She will be here, and we're going to talk all things water with the Water Warrior. This is Real Talk Memphis. I am Chip. You know who you are. We will be right back.
You're listening to Real Talk with Chip Washington. If you're celebrating a birthday, anniversary, or special occasion, shoot him a note and he'll read it on the air. Get involved and tell somebody about Real Talk.
You're
we'll be right
listening
back.
to WYXR 91.7 FM Memphis. This is Nancy, and I hope you'll join me on a musical journey from 2 to 4 p.m. Mondays with Memphis Undercover.
There's really nothing better than a box of records. Not even a bottle of beer. Drinks are gone in a matter of minutes, but vinyl just won't disappear.
Hi there, this is Zach Ives. My show, A Box of Records, plays every Tuesday night, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., right here on WYXR 91.7 FM, Memphis, Tennessee.
This is Bishop Phoebe Rofe of the Episcopal Diocese of West Tennessee. Tune in every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. at WYXR 91.7 FM to hear conversations with community leaders about the role of faith in their lives. That's Faithfully Memphis, right here on WYXR FM.
Established in 1999, Bentley Travel Services is a family-owned and operated travel services company with offices in Maryland, Tennessee, and South Carolina. They are proud to support WYXR and their mission. For more information, go to facebook.com/Bentley Travel Services.
Get Real Talk on the Tunein mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday, July 12th. It is your humble host, Chip Washington. Very happy to have you with us and very happy to be here as well. And happy to have my first guest with us. Of course, many of you are aware of the battle regarding the Byhalia Pipeline and that back and forth that was going on. And, of course, nobody in the city or the county was in favor of that particular project. Vice President Al Gore, former vice president, was here actually protesting that as well. We're going to delve into this a little bit. And we're going to, very pleased to have with me tonight the executive director of Our Aquifer. I'm sorry, what's the name of that? Protect. Protect Our Aquifer. She is Sarah Houston, aka the Water Warrior. Sarah, thank you so much for being with us. I really appreciate it.
Awesome, Chip. Thanks so much for having me.
Okay, so obviously this battle has been going on for quite a while now in reference to the Byhalia Pipeline, and suddenly the first couple of days of July, they decided they were not going to move forward with it. Explain to our listeners kind of what that was all about and the reasoning behind that, if you wouldn't mind.
Right. So, we put up a pretty formidable battle. We had Protect Our Aquifer, Memphis Community Against the Pipeline, Sierra Club, Southern Vermont Law Center, We had city, county, state, federal folks, really trying to figure out, how we can prevent this pipeline from cutting through people's backyards, taking their property, and going through our drinking water well supply where water was being pumped for Southwest Memphis.
Right.
So Byhalia Pipeline came out on the Friday before 4th of July and filed an SEC filing saying they were canceling the project. And they cited, a reduced need for crude oil, which, in our mind is a good reason too. But we think that has a lot to do with a lot of the opposition they've been up against.
Yeah, it has been strong, and we've talked about that issue before, on the show. It just seemed very kind of out of left field, out of nowhere in terms of this. But you and I talked offline, and you said, well, obviously this is a major victory for the city of Memphis and Shelby County and the citizens that it would impact. But you are not necessarily convinced that this is the end of the story. When they were asked about why they pulled out, they were a little vague in terms of their reason. They gave a reason, but you seem to be a little suspicious. Talk about that.
Exactly, Chip. Yeah. So, it did kind of come out of left field. It was a 5 p.m. Friday announcement, and we're all texting, calling each other like, is this for real? Holy smokes. Like the
Yeah.
pipeline's canceled. So of course we were just like super excited, but then we're like, they still want to be pushing around this crude oil. So what really raised the red flag for us was that following Tuesday at City Council, we had Corey Thornton, who is the Plains All-American attorney. He showed up to City Council committee first thing Tuesday morning and was really lobbying hard against these upcoming ordinances that we still want passed to protect our water and protect our people, from crude oil pipelines. And, he came in pretty hard and really was explaining why they disapproved of these ordinances. And in the back of our mind, well, I would say the front of our minds, if this pipeline company is canceling this project, why would they care what we're doing at a local level? Right, exactly. So that does is raising some red flags. They're coming back with another plan.
So, obviously, and if you're just tuning in, we are speaking with Sarah Houston. She is the executive director of Protect Our Aquifer. And we're talking about the Byhalia Pipeline project. And I do know that the city council, the county commission, both the city and the county mayors are both against this and obviously applauded the decision. But I guess everybody is keeping a wary eye on all of this, as we continue to move forward. But I want to talk a little bit about you. You have been named the executive director of Protect Our Aquifer. You are the first executive director. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
And they call you the water warrior. We'll talk about that in a minute. But as the executive director of this very important component in terms of dealing with the water issue here, what are some of your initiatives and what are some of the things that you want to do as you move forward?
Right. Great question. Well, water is really complex. You got water that touches every part of our lives in ways a lot of us don't even really think about. So I think for Protect Our Aquifer, we kind of have like a short-term and long-term look. One short-term is to kind of continue what we've been doing with this Byhalia Pipeline fight, but looking at other contamination issues around the county. We got some issues going on in Collierville. We've got more things going on in Southwest Memphis. We've got the Defense Depot, now called Memphis Depot. Yeah. There's some, contamination issues throughout our county that can affect our drinking water supply. So in the short term, we want to continue to raise awareness of those. And, how can we, engage the community, invoke more water warriors to really, bring our government officials and other technical expertise to really, remediate these issues fast so that we're not dealing with expensive cleanup projects when it actually reaches our aquifer system. So that's kind of the short-term thing. Longer term, we're looking at talking with our neighbors in Fayette County and the rest of West Tennessee and even Mississippi and Arkansas, because this aquifer isn't just in Memphis. So we want to start talking with our neighbors to see, what are their issues? What are their concerns? Mississippi has actually sued us over the groundwater. So obviously they've got some concerns.
Wow.
We're pretty hopeful Tennessee's going to come out on top in that lawsuit, but start to get the conversation going about how can we better manage this aquifer so we've got it clean and free flowing for generations to come.
So water is really one of the crown jewels of what makes Memphis Memphis. I mean, everybody talks about the clean, pure drinking water. And
right.
Anytime someone wants to dip in and do something that may disrupt that whole system scenario, people really start to galvanize and raise up in arms. But I want to talk about the title that you have, your nom de plume, which is the Water Warrior. Now, I did do a little research and I did do a little reading on you when you first got the new position. And I want to know about the bike rides and the bike that you and your husband, you guys rode all across the country being water warriors. Talk about that, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, we kind of had a quarter life crisis, and we were both working salary jobs, and we were kind of thinking like, are we just going to, sit in these, cubicles for the rest of our lives and, in 40 years retire, and then we get to go travel, then we get to go have fun.
Yeah.
So we decided, actually with some neighbors of ours, that they were interested in bike touring. So bike touring is not big in America. We had never even heard about it. And there are a lot of people in like Europe that do it.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much you take your bicycle, you get certain, shelving units pretty much mounted on, and you can pack on all your kitchen supplies, your cooking supplies, your sleeping stuff, your clothes, your water. And so you pack in everything you need to survive, and you can just hit the road, gasoline free. So we ended up doing that for almost a year and a half straight, all over Southwest US, down the Mississippi River. We were in Mexico. We went to Hawaii. And all along the way, we were learning about local water supplies, local issues. And we interviewed everyone from local government to nonprofit to scientists, engineers, farmers, just to, learn about the water issues, happening all over the world, really. And that's really what ended us bringing us into Memphis and learning all about the aquifer issue here. I
was going to ask you, did you find, obviously this was an informational tour, did you find that there are many states and municipalities across this country that are dealing with issues similar to what we were dealing with?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think that was something that we were really kind of surprised about. Like even when we were in Hawaii, we're in this like land of luxury, beautiful, lush jungle, and they're trying to promote water conservation, and they're trying to get people to, use less water. And I'm like, it rains like buckets every day. Why do you need to do that? But there's issues all over the place. They kind of vary depending on whether it's quality or quantity or, but here in Memphis, we've got this Mississippi River running right next door to us. And we were surprised that this huge city wasn't getting its drinking water from the Mississippi River. Right. There's this underground, unseen, layer of sand that has just tons of water in it. And so that's, what we ended up, while we were in Memphis, interviewing folks here to learn, what is this aquifer? Why is it so special? Why don't we need the Mississippi River? And that really led to learn a lot about, some of these problems that are starting to crop up after all these years.
Wow, that is really amazing, and it is really fascinating. And I think Protect Our Aquifer is very fortunate to have you as their leader and helming the way and continuing the fight for clean water here in the city of Memphis, the county of Shelby, and surrounding areas. Sarah Houston, thank you so much for taking some time to talk with us tonight. I really enjoyed it.
Yes, sir, Chip. Water Warrior at your service, sir. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Sarah. And you're welcome back anytime. Anytime there's an issue or something you need to get out to the public, Real Talk Memphis is here for you, okay?
All right, man. I really appreciate that. You have a good rest of your day.
All right, thanks. Take care. All right. Well, that was Sarah Houston. Boy, that was a really good conversation. And she is a pistol when it comes to water and protecting our water supply and protecting our aquifer. Thank you so much again for coming on the show. Okay, we're going to take another break, and when we come back, we're going to shift gears completely, and we're going to talk about what it takes to get those nails right and those toes right and whatever else goes along with that cosmetology type of deal. We're going to talk to someone who can explicitly talk to us about that. She is the founder of the Nail Institute. Her name is Kamecha Wilson. She will join us after the break. This is Real Talk Memphis. Aren't you glad you tuned in? I am as well. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of
Hey Memphis, my name is Ron Buck. I am looking forward to bringing you my show, Riverside, every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. I will be playing rock and blues, old and new, and featuring Memphis music and events. I hope you'll tune in to Riverside every Friday at 1 p.m. on WYXR 91.7 FM, Raised by Sound.
There's really nothing better than a box of records, not even a bottle of beer. Drinks are gone in a matter of minutes, but vinyl just won't disappear.
Hi there, this is Zach Ives. My show, A Box of Records, plays every Tuesday night, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., right here on WYXR 91.7 FM, Memphis, Tennessee.
This is Bishop Phoebe Rofe of the Episcopal Diocese of West Tennessee. Tune in every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. at WYXR 91.7 FM to hear conversations with community leaders about the role of faith in their lives. That's Faithfully Memphis, right here on WYXR FM.
Yo, what up? It is the president of Driven Type T, and you're now tuned in to Memphis' own WYXR 91.7 FM. The station with the city soul, man. Come on, you know what it is. Remember, never stop. Stay driven. Peace.
Get Real Talk on the Tunein mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening. Chip Washington with you. Glad to have you on board with us. And, you know, we were talking during the break about manicures and pedicures and you Marquez said something about French man. I hope you guys can hear us. Kamecha, I hope you guys can hear us because I'm saying funny stuff right now, so you're supposed to smile. But anyway, we're just having a little fun here in the studio, and we're going to talk about, manicures and pedicures and how to keep those nails looking right. But we're going to talk to somebody who really, I guess, had a dream some years back about training and teaching and showing folks actually how to make you look good. We are here with Kamecha Wilson. She is the owner and operator of the Nail Institute of Memphis, and I think she's got Tina Pilgrim with her, who is the lead instructor and facilitator. Ladies, welcome to Real Talk Memphis.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Well, look, thanks for being here. And you know, I know for a fact that this nail thing is big business. And DJ Lola is sitting in here, with me right now, and she's one of my producers. And flashing the nails here. She's got multicolored nails, all these different nail colors on her fingers and everything, and all that. She laying it out and everything else. But listen, I want to talk a little bit about what made you decide back in 2017 that we needed a school, a training facility, to train these young folks to be able to have a skill which is probably as beneficial a skill as there is in town in terms of doing the nail thing. What made you come to that place?
Well, first of all, I've been a nail tech for 22 years myself.
Okay.
And that has always been my passion. That's the only job that I've ever had. So I was laying in bed one night and I talked to God and told him that I wanted to do something that no one else was doing. And I heard plain as day, nail school. So I reached out to the people that I know that are in the industry and, inquired about what it takes in order to do that. And they put me on the right track. Everything happened so fast and so suddenly. But I've been interviewed by every news station there is. And the interviewers always ask me, what stumbling blocks did I come across as far as trying to open a nail school? And I told them none, because blessings don't have stumbling blocks.
Oh, listen to you.
They just flow.
Listen to you. See, I was gonna say, normally when somebody says I've been interviewed by, every media outlet in town, but see, you hadn't been interviewed by me or Real Talk Memphis. So this is a whole nother level of conversation that you're having tonight. But no, I'm just kidding about that. But listen, you're absolutely right. When God gives you a vision, and you trust and you believe, you take that vision, and you clearly did, and you have moved it forward. So let's lay out the Nail Institute. How many do you have? More than one facility? How many students you have? I guess this might be this might be a Tina question, but kind of lay all that out for us, if you will.
They're at the corner of my eye, like, okay, you're up.
See how smooth? See how smooth I was when I just laid that on in there to her.
Yeah, you segued that real good.
Go ahead, Tina. Do your thing.
We've educated. I've been here since December 18, 2017 is when I came on. And I too, this is my assignment with her. God sent me to her to get her in order. I have a passion for African-American businesses to get set up and operate like they should.
Right.
Doing it the legal way, the right way.
Right.
And I told her in the interim, if we're going to do this, we got to do it the right way. So I came in, started working my magic. She gave me free reign. She trusted me with her school, trusted me with the students, trusted me with everything about her business, because she knows, she had to grow to know, because I didn't know her in 2017. But after coming to the Nail Institute of Memphis, we found out we had a lot of people we knew in common.
We did.
Especially my family, the Blands, and so.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead, Chip.
No. I was just listening to you, and I was going to say, how many to this point, how many people do you think that you all have trained to be nail techs? Just a roundabout figure, if you can.
Let me give you a round about 200.
Round about 200. Wow, since 2017.
200.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to say this: the industry has changed tremendously since the freestanding nail schools have opened up. We've turned out more nail technicians than ever in the state of Tennessee, because you have your freestanding manicuring schools. And that's why we fight so hard. Me and Kamecha, we're fighting not to be deregulated. I'm a cosmetologist. I've been teaching and doing hair for 32 years. And I watched the industry change so much. And I am determined that it's going to stay professional, Chip. And so that's what I put into the students when they come here. I'm out and about in the community. If somebody says, hey, Miss P, I know I taught you somewhere, and you got to tell me where, because I don't remember faces.
We are speaking with Kamecha Wilson and Tina Pilgrim from the Nail Institute of Memphis. These two are a hoot. So listen, in terms of the people that you have taught, break down the training schedule. In other words, how long is it from the time that they become students to the time that they graduate?
That can be kind of tricky, though. They're supposed to do 300 hours of theory, 300 hours of practical instruction also. But life has to present itself sometimes to our students, and so we have to accommodate them, and we have to adapt to their situations. So what would you say, maybe 9 month?
Maybe, yeah, give or take. It's typically 6.5 to 7 months if you are dedicated and attending school daily or nightly, whichever you enroll in, we have day and night classes.
Okay.
No one else in the city is doing that. I also know that no one else in the city is has the ratio that we have as far as students that have came out of corporate America and left their jobs and went and opened their own salons. We have so many students that are now African American owned salons, men and women.
So this truly is, no kidding aside, a success story. I mean, what you're doing is you are training individuals, in a valuable skill set and profession to be able to do this. And obviously, since you have individuals who have opened businesses all over the city and the county and maybe even the state, that has to give you both a great sense of gratification, does it not?
It does. Mission accomplished. Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, when I was sitting here and I was thinking about this beforehand, and we take a lot of things for granted, and for the brothers and even the sisters too. You mentioned, Tina, about being a cosmetologist, but fellas like to get their hair. We like to get chopped up and looking good and have everything clean. And I guess I would like to know what the percentage is, because it seems like it's growing, of men who are into the manicure deal and even the pedicure deal as well. Is that becoming? And Marquette, my producer, one of my producers, is raising his hand like, yeah, me. I mean, are you finding that to be a growing population in terms of nail care and anything else?
It's not growing as much as the ladies are still. The ladies are still the percentage of men to the ratio, rather, of men to women. The men, they still think this industry is kind of girly or, not masculine. Yeah. But what I tell them, you providing a service to someone, it doesn't matter if you're male or female or what you identify with. This is a professional skill. It takes skill to service customers and clients. Just take, Chip, you get how many hours a day do you work? How many hours in a week do you work? And I'm pretty sure at the end of your work week, you're tired, you want to relax. Yes. You want to have a good pedicure done, have your feet done, have your nails done.
Okay, I'm not there yet, but go ahead. I'm not there yet, but that's okay.
Well, then you can answer your own question then.
Well, no, because I do know that there is a growing population of men who do, really appreciate, especially the nail thing. I mean, I know guys that do that myself, and I give them a hard time just because I'm just irritating like that. But I do know that it makes them look good and it makes them feel good, and it's a part of personal grooming on the serious side. Yeah. So
we've had guys to come in through the program and graduate, and then there's more so men that will patronize getting the services done. Exactly. Compared to back in the day. It's more popular with men that way, but as far as enrolling in school, not so much. We have majority of women that are in, like I stated earlier, in corporate America that were previously in corporate America have now since left and opened their own salons. So
now, before I let you both go, is this just one? Is this one school in particular? Do you have like offsets, or is this just one particular branch of instruction? In terms of the Nail Institute,
it's one particular right now.
Okay. I like that. I like that.
We were at a Union location in the Union Center building.
Our Center.
First 3 years. Okay. Of being open and operated. We've since moved to the Hillshire location, which is off of Wheaton Road, within this last year. So when we moved to a larger location, whereas our students would be able to comfortably do demos on each other, receive training from instructors, and also to service the public when we do open to do so. Right. So the location is larger from where we moving on up like the Jeffersons.
So okay, George and Weezy, I got you. So before you go, anyone who is interested in learning more about the Nail Institute of Memphis, go.
Okay. The Nell Institute of Memphis, first of all, let me say this. I should have said it earlier. We are the first freestanding school, not only in Memphis, but in the entire state of Tennessee.
All right.
No one else had one.
All right.
We can be found on Facebook, the Nell Institute LLC. We can be found on Instagram, choose_NIM, which is the initials for the Nell Institute of Memphis. We can be called at 901-602-6118 if you're interested in enrolling.
Kamecha Wilson, Tina Pilgrim, thank you both for taking time to come on Real Talk Memphis tonight and talk nails and manicures and pedicures and the whole nine. I have truly
challenge you, Chip.
Yeah, well, you know, Jesse Jackson. I'm gonna say this, like Jesse Jackson always says, keep hope alive. Thank y'all for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much for having us.
All right, y'all take care. Take care of yourself.
Okay, you too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was fun. That was fun. I enjoyed that. Talking about nail care, the Nail Institute of Memphis. And listen, if y'all want to change careers in midstream and learn how to do something that a lot of folks are interested in, the Nail Institute of Memphis is the place for you. One final break. When we come back, we are going to talk with my man, Mr. Otis Sanford. This is Real Talk Memphis. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Real Talk with Chip Washington. If you're celebrating a birthday, anniversary, or special occasion, shoot him a note and he'll read it on the air. Get involved and tell somebody about
You're
Real Talk.
To
we'll be right back.
WYXR 91.7 FM Memphis. This is Nancy, and I hope you'll join me on a musical journey from 2 to 4 p.m. Mondays with Memphis Undercover.
There's really nothing better than a box of records. Not even a bottle of beer. Drinks are gone in a matter of minutes, but vinyl just won't disappear.
Hi there, this is Zach Ives. My show, A Box of Records, plays every Tuesday night, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., right here on WYXR 91.7 FM, Memphis, Tennessee.
Get Real Talk on the Tunein mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening. I hope you have enjoyed the show so far as much as I have. It's really been a lot of fun. And now I'm going to talk to a man who first of all, I have extraordinary respect for. He is, in a word, many things, but he's a columnist. He is a commentator that you can see on ABC 24. He is an author of a couple of great books, as a matter of fact, and one of them I actually have. And he's also and I have to mention this at the top, he is the new president of the Memphis Rotary Club and the first African-American ever to hold that position. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Otis Sanford. Otis, how you doing?
Chip, how are you? Good to see you.
Man, hey, it's good to have you on the show, and it's good to visit with you always. And first of all,
thank you.
Congratulations on being named the new president of the Memphis Rotary Club. And as mentioned, you are the first African American to hold that position. So, first of all, how do you feel about that? And moving forward, what do things look like for you?
Well, I certainly I shouldn't have been the first African American. Let's just get that out there.
Okay.
But I'm pleased to serve. I've been a part of Rotary and the Memphis Rotary Club since 2007. So I have about 14 years of service there. And as I look at it, Chip, I see a lot of similarities between the Rotary Club and journalism.
Okay.
Because my journalism has been all about public service all of my life. That's what journalism does. We serve the public. And the Rotary Club does the same thing with great projects. We have fabulous speakers who come to talk about important public policy issues on a weekly basis. We get involved in a lot of different things that help the community. We've been doing food pantries ever since the pandemic started last year. And we read, we have a Rotary Readers that we read to children in elementary schools. And I have several other things in the works that hopefully will raise the profile even more of Rotary during my year as president. So I'm looking forward to it. It's a lot of work, as if I don't need another thing to do. But I'm enjoying it so far, and I'm looking forward to the year.
Well, if anybody can move it forward, it certainly is you. So
I appreciate that.
I want to jump into to some serious topics here. As you are more than aware, and as you have more than spoke on many occasions, the city of Memphis is really going through some obvious major challenges. And, of course, none to me is more important than the crime situation that we're dealing with and the violence that we are dealing with on a daily basis. When you look at the landscape of where we are right now, and it just seems like there's no regard for anybody, no regard for human life, no regard for children, no regard for anything or anyone. What goes through your mind?
I'm very troubled by it all. I think you just encapsulated it all right there with your question. This is a very troubling time. Again, it's not just Memphis. You have a lot of major cities who are wrestling with violent crime right now. And Memphis is certainly right in the middle of all of that. You mentioned children. I mean, we have a lot of children who have been shot and killed.
Yes.
I think it was outrageous what happened to Kelby Shorty on July 4th night.
Yes.
And I'm glad that they have some people arrested as a result of that. I'm waiting to hear exactly what happened there because I want to know that. But this is troubling. I did see today that the new police chief, C.J. Davis, was at the White House. And so she was talking about this, and she was actually quoted on national news outside the White House. I'm encouraged by her appointment as the new police chief. I think she will bring some fresh blood and some fresh thinking to the issue. But this is a troubling thing. I mean, when you look at all of the tweets that we get from the police department, and it's one shooting after another, one homicide after another, all over the place. It's weary. I'm tired of it. And the community has to be tired of it as well. We have to address that.
Yeah, this is the problem that, we all say the same thing. It's like the same sheet of music, you know what I mean? And just flipping the page. But the solutions and what we need to do, people are tired of it. People are angry. People are frustrated, and we all need to get together and do it. But what are the substantive answers that we need to have to be able to try to curb this? But like you said earlier, this is not just a Memphis problem, but this is a national problem as well. But I want to jump into the local political scene here. Of course, the budgets being, approved for the city and county government, as we move forward to another year. Where do you see things in terms of the political landscape? Here are the two governmental entities doing all they need to do, or do you see more things need to be done?
Well, I think for the most part, based on their constraints, and when I say their constraints, I'm talking about how much they can do based on the amount of money that they have to work with. I think they are doing fairly well. Both the city and county. It is not easy to run a city or a county. Last year was a very challenging year, as you well know, with COVID. We had, unemployment was at the highest it's been probably in my lifetime. It shot up because of COVID. So the revenues were not coming in the way they were supposed to. The good news, especially for the city, and I don't know this specifically for the county, but the federal dollars that are coming into the city as a result of the COVID funding, I think will help the city do some things, especially with law enforcement and even with employment.
Right.
And I know that there's been a lot of talk and a lot of debate about police budgets and all of that. But the fact is, we need a good police department and we need good police officers. And with all of the lack of help that we get from the state government in terms of coming up with laws that allow people to carry guns everywhere, we need to have a well-trained police department, and I think some of these federal funds will help with that. So overall, city and county, I'm pleased with the direction that they're going right now.
We are talking with Otis Sanford. Of course, he is no stranger to any of us who have been around Memphis any length of time at all, and he is sharing his viewpoint on all things Memphis and Shelby County. And Otis, before I let you go, if you had one wish for us as a city and for us as a community, I know you spend a great deal of time thinking about this city because you have spent a majority of your time covering this city in a variety of venues. What would it be?
Right.
What would it be?
Well, right now, it's what we just talked about at the outset of our conversation, Chip. I wish we could get a better handle on our violent crime. I wish we could reach the people who are committing these crimes for whatever reason and try to find out what's going on with them and try to deal with those situations. It could very well be that there's an effort that has been going on in Memphis for quite a while, trying to look at what affects especially young people and young African-American people in this community at an early age. What kind of trauma have they experienced? What are the childhood experiences that lead them in the wrong direction?
Right.
I do think we need to spend more time trying to do that. I mean, the violent crime is a drag on everything else that we try to do. Memphis is a great city.
Yes.
I love this city. And I always have. I said that in the book that you mentioned earlier.
Yes, you did.
But it is a place where sometimes the beauty, the charm, the soulfulness of Memphis can get dragged down by the craziness and the silliness of violent crime.
Yeah.
And it makes people feel like they're not safe. So that's the one wish that I would have for Memphis, is that we try to get a handle on that and try to solve and reach some of these people who are doing the bulk of the violent criminal activity and try to turn that around.
Otis Sanford, thank you so much for taking some time and expressing your thoughts and your opinions. I value them greatly, and I will have you back on the show. I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Chip. It's always good to talk to you.
All right. Take care of yourself. Thank you.
All right. You too.
Okay. Otis Sanford, ladies and gentlemen. And as we about to wrap up and get out of here, Marquette Walker has been a producer on my show for the last 2+ years. This is his last broadcast tonight, and I wanted him to say goodbye. But first, I wanted to say how much I value you and how much I appreciate you. He's off to college, and he's going to be a success, and he's going to be a name that you all are going to know down the road. But Marquette, thank you for taking some time just to be with us for the last 2 years. I'm going to miss you, and I'm real proud of you.
Most definitely. I appreciate you so much, Chip. This was a blessing. When Stan Bell first let me know about this show, I was instantly trying to hop on the train because I knew it was going to be a success.
Well, listen, man, thank you so much, and God bless you and your family. Really appreciate you, and all the best. Jack, play us out of here. And listen, this has been a great show. Thank you so much for being with us tonight on Real Talk Memphis. As always, I value you as a listener. And if you like what you hear, go out and tell somebody. Talking Memphis is next. Robbie Grant, J.B. Boyd, and their special guest this evening. So in the meantime, in between time, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Be good, be safe, take care of each other. God bless. I'm Chip, and I'm out.
Dialect to do something about it.